Hi, it's Travis White with the Persuasive Communication Tip of the Week. Let's talk about stress this week. Let's talk about stress in your organization and how it affects communication. Even in normal circumstances, when there's not a lot of stress in your organization, communication is very difficult. And we've talked a lot in these various videos about how to communicate effectively within an organization. When you have stress in the organization, it makes communication even more difficult. If you think of it as a pipeline of information, that pipeline gets squeezed, people don't hear what you're saying, people are preoccupied with the stress they're feeling and the anxiety about the future. That makes communication all the more difficult. And when you're a stressed out organization, that's when you need communication more than any other time in the history of your organization. That's when you need to communicate effectively, and that's when it's most difficult to communicate effectively because people are preoccupied. When they're preoccupied, they don't hear, they don't see, they don't understand your message. So what should you do if you're a leader in a stressed out organization? Well, from a communication perspective, you have to up the ante a bit. You have to communicate more frequently, and communicate in shorter bursts. And that shorter bursts, I mean, if you're going to give a speech to your employees, if you're going to give a speech to your team or a presentation, don't make it more than 10 or 12 minutes. Make it very short, make it brief, hit the highlights, hit the main points, and hit them again, and then hit them again. All right? Now do that frequently. Instead of having 1 hour-long presentation, maybe you have 5 10-minute presentations or 6 or 7 10-minute presentations. You're showing you care about the employees by communicating frequently. You're communicating more effectively because you know that pipe has shrunk down, so you're only putting a little bit of information through that pipe. You're putting the most important messages through that pipe. Other things to do: 1, you should talk one-on-one to your employees. That's very important. If you are a manager of managers, you should make sure that all of your managers should talk one-to-one to their employees. That's very important that the employee hears it from his or her manager personally in a face-to-face meeting. If you're up in the hierarchy and you have multiple layers beneath you, make sure that that cascades down. Make sure that managers speak to employees. Make sure that the same messages get repeated. So it's frequency, it's showing that you care, it's showing that you trust the individuals, the employees, and building their trust in you. And as we said on many occasions, the basis of good communications is trust. So work on building that trust, work on frequency, pare down the message, do only the most important headline messages, and make sure that your managers or you are talking individually one-on-one to your employees, and make sure it's consistent in its messaging. So that's the Persuasive Communication Tip of the Week. See you again next week.